Hi, welcome to AFTV. I've got Turkish with me off the back of a 2-0 win against West Ham. There was a lot of talk in the week that maybe the Aubameyang losing his captaincy might be a distraction for the boys, but we saw no sign of that today. A great win. How was it for you, Turkish?
Yeah, it's a big win. I mean, you said great win. And when you look at where we're at in the league table now, it is more often than not Arsenal, when they have chances to kind of either put pressure on the people just above or take advantage of others dropping points and maybe putting ourselves in a great position moving into the next game week. Sometimes more often than not, we let ourselves down. We didn't do that at all today. And throughout the 90 minutes, there wasn't really a patch where I was worried about West Ham, which I think was the most positive I can take from this game. Against Southampton, that first 20 minutes was awful. We turned it around and we managed to pick out a 3-0 win. It should have been more. But against West Ham today, we couldn't afford 10 minutes of being that awful, let alone 20. And we didn't even give West Ham 5. So, in my opinion, it's one of our most all-round performances of the season. At times in the first half, I believe it was poor. We dominated in terms of possession, but it took us to the latter stages of the first half to create good openings, which we did. And lo and behold, halftime comes. Arteta pulls it out the bag. I've been critical of Arteta at halftime in past games, and sometimes it's swinging back in the opposition's favour. But the start of the second half, we was aggressive, we was organised, we didn't, lose our structure. We created more chances, and Martinelli scored pretty early on. And what a goal it was! What a goal it was!
It was class, Thierry-esque. Now I want to ask you: you see the red card situation as a second yellow for Kufal. Do you think did that really swing the game to Arsenal's side, or do you think we was in it before the red card? Do you think we still would have got a result regardless of that? I know we're talking in hindsight here, but I'd be intrigued to hear. Do you think the performance was good enough to say that we would have won the game regardless?
No. And I say that because even at 1-0 with 10-man West Ham, there was times there was a lot of the game they was putting pressure on us. They was keeping us camped in, and it seemed like they'd start creating chances, but it just never came through. And the second goal killed them off essentially. Even before the sending off in the 10-man West Ham, I think we still deserved to win that game. It's just, at times when we go 1-0 up, we kind of go into our shell, and I'm worried about that, because even today, with West Ham losing a man, we were still in that shell where I thought maybe we explode now, and maybe we come out and we lay a marker. It wasn't to be, but listen, we're top 4. We've got a positive goal difference, first time this season, I believe. You can't really complain much.
Yeah, that's we speak about the being top 4 and being 4th at the moment. I want to ask you, Turkish, should we? Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm gassed. I might be getting a bit ahead of myself, but should we be a bit more reserved in the sense that there's teams that got games in hand? We shouldn't be getting too carried away with this, or should we really just enjoy this moment as a fan base being 4th? Because it is Christmas. I think a lot of around the Christmas period, I think a lot of fans wouldn't have expected us to be here at this stage of the season. Were you surprised? Are you surprised as well?
Surprised, yeah. Obviously, I am surprised to be 4th, coming in smack bang in the middle of December. I am surprised to be sitting in 4th position.
Do you look too much in? Are you looking too much into it? Or are you saying, you know what, I'm aware of other teams having games in hand, and then this may just be, we might not be here for too long? Or do you think this could be where we might be sitting at the end of the season?
You can't look too much into it. Up until today, I think everyone would have said West Ham deserves to be in that top 4. You look at the last couple of seasons where Leicester were top 4 for the majority of the season and dropped out towards the end of it. We can't rest on our laurels or get carried away with being 4th mid-December. We've got Leeds, Norwich, and Wolves to wrap up the year. That should be 9 points. Yeah, and if we get that, we're going to be in a better, stronger position come the new year. And obviously you start the new year welcoming Man City to the Emirates on the 1st of January. So that's the next big one down the line. If we can get the job done in between, which we have been doing in between the big ones, then we will be there or thereabouts come into the season, because the other teams that are fighting for that same 4th spot or the top 6, have been as inconsistent as we have at times. So I think it's nice to be fourth. It's been a little while. It puts a smile on my face when I walked into the room and I just see the table up there and I'm like, fourth, okay, cool. But it's nothing to get carried away with yet. There's still a lot more work to be done and get done throughout the season. And January is a massive window. I think regardless of being fourth now, we know we've got creativity and maybe goal scoring issues. So I think in January, hopefully that does get addressed. And hopefully when that is getting addressed, we're still in a position that we are in today, in and around top four.
Yeah. Okay, let's look at some really things that made me smile throughout the game. Let's talk about let's start with Martinelli. Turkish, happy, like, listen, he was a breath of fresh air today. I think he really could, you could see he was flowing with confidence. He got his goal, which I said about Thierry-esque, and he started opening up with his flair as well. Was it good, nice to see Martinelli really come into his own?
Yeah, man, this is what I want to see from Martinelli, man. Like I said on the watch along, I said that coming up to this season, if you asked majority of fans who has the highest ceiling out of our gems, Martinelli would have been the one 9 times out of 10 being called. It hasn't gone his way so far this season, but since he's come in the last few games, he's kicked on. And today, that goal, not even just the goal, the aggressiveness to run into that space, number one, creates that. Then the touch, and then the finish. It was perfect, literally all aspects perfect. And Henry-esque is the way to kind of describe that. Listen, Martinelli has got a bright future ahead of him. We've got some bright young gems in trying to fit them into 3 different positions. We've got to make it work, and I think Martinelli is one of the standouts. But how often have we said the same about Emil Smith-Rowe, Odegaard, and Saka? We've got a good pool of young talent in and around that striker position. So hopefully in January, if we can get that striker in, then we can kick on.
Yeah, and just on the strikers again, I'm going to quickly just put a light on Lacazette as well. Obviously, he led the team out today. He was captain. Yeah. We know about the leadership circle at Arsenal and all of this, but you got to give it to him today. He led by example, worked hard throughout, and this leadership thing. I think I have my gripes about it, but I mean it's worked today. I think they decided to keep Lacazette as the leader, and he did lead by example. You agree?
Yeah, Lacazette, listen, as much as I think it's time to look past Lacazette, what he's changed himself into essentially has been a benefit to us in this crucial time, because we lack goals from our striker positions, but at least Lacazette brings something else. He drops in, he creates space. That first goal was essentially created by Lacazette dropping in to create space for Martinelli to run into. So that is what Lacazette can bring. It's been a shame that we didn't get the Leon Lacazette and the goal scorer Lacazette, but it is what it is. The position we're in now and the lack of strikers we have, I think Lacazette is now the best option, considering the other situation right now. We don't really know what's going to happen with that. I think right now Lacazette's the best option to lead the line. In terms of the captaincy, I'm done talking about that for today. We've beaten West Ham, and I don't want to cloud that because it is a big win. It is top 4, and we can go into that Leeds game now confident, chest out a little bit. So I don't want to dwell on the captaincy, but I think it's not the last we're going to hear of it.
Definitely. Thank you, Turkish, and I'll see you at player ratings.